In this video, I'm going to be talking about 4 critical things that real estate agents should be doing in their business, but they're probably not. If you're interested in growing your real estate business and standing out on Google and social media, this is the video for you.
The 4 secret things that successful realtors are using and leveraging that you may not be.
Yeah. And so, listen, I've been on this deep tear for the past several years. Some of you know that I came from the .com world, right? In the 90s, I got into real estate in the 2000s, killed it. Built a couple of other tools and now building Explore My Town. I have one like main focus, and that is how do we hack Google? Right? How do we rank on Google? How do we get our video seen on Google and on YouTube and stuff like that? And so some of these tools are going to help. And also we're going to talk about a tool that everybody needs. I really do believe everybody needs. If you're not paying a whole lot of money for this particular tool, you can get it inexpensive. But I'm going to let Derek do the talking because he's an expert and I rely on, I actually drive him crazy. I drive him absolute batshit crazy.
Why do you think you drive me crazy, J-Mo? What gives you that idea?
I'm unpleasable.
Oh, I thought it was because of your charming New Jersey accent.
Yeah, well, I'm from New Hampshire, so screw you, Paisan.
Hey, Jim, I've got a question for you, man.
Yeah, man.
If you knew that you could earn $1 million this year, guaranteed, how much money would you spend to do so?
If I would say 48% of that because that is what my ratio is.
So you would spend $480,000 if you were guaranteed to make $1 million.
Yeah, because I'd make 520.
So what if I said, nope, sorry, not good enough. You got to pay 75% to make $1 million. Would you still do it?
Am I netting or grossing $1 million?
You are netting. Money in, money out.
So I would pay 75%. So I'd only make 250.
You would make 250,000 that you would not have otherwise made. Would you take that deal?
I have too many questions. I might take that deal, depending on where I am in my life and such like that. All depends on how much the outflow of my money is at this time and the time to get my money back.
The money back is within 1 year. If you were to pay $750,000 and you were guaranteed to make $1 million back, would you do it? And I think this is the question that most realtors have to wrestle with, because I think really all realtors have the potential to do at least $1 million in sales, not necessarily net. Some realtors definitely do with the net side. But the challenge that we wrestle with as marketers is this world of uncertainty. And so if we were guaranteed certain outcomes, we would take much bolder and daring risks as entrepreneurs to realize those outcomes. And so the beauty that I see of digital marketing is that we have so much data now with the campaigns that we're running that it mitigates the risks that we take in order to deliver on the results that we want. And so today we're going to be revealing 4 products here in our new Explore My Town service marketplace that I'm excited are going to help our realtors to be able to realize some more rewards with better managed, lower risks. And we all have heard the saying, you have to pay money to make money. But the reason why we don't pay more money to make more money is because we're uncertain about the risks that we're taking. So I'm going to go ahead and peel back the curtain here. Let's fire up the screen. Let's jump on in because I want to show these products here that I think will help you to manage those risks, to help you to make more money. So we're presenting the service marketplace here today. And the first thing that I want to go ahead and present to you is going to be the Google My Business Optimization and Local Rankings service. Now, the reason why this is so important is because it really is kind of the new .com surge. So Jim, you're a young buck, but you probably remember the 95, 96. What's the .com surge?
Oh, why am I going to the new .com search? So that was when everybody started to pop up all these .com and e-commerce companies. That's when I was in the .com world. And all of a sudden, everywhere you looked, it was like, what is this company? What is that company? We owned 150 companies at one point, trying to bring them all IPO. Is that what we're talking about?
That's exactly right. Yeah, and everyone was kind of racing each other to buy all the .coms, right?
Yeah.
And you probably have this still today, JMO, because you're an old fart. But you probably have like 150, 200 domains in your account that you're just holding on to, and some of them maybe you're hoping one day someone will offer you good cash value to buy one of those out. But I say that Google My Business is the new .com because it's a limited property. So in any marketplace, you get top three positions. It's called the Map Pack in Google, and it has to do with your business industry and your location. So those are the kind of the two things that factor into Google My Business listing. Now, in order to create a new listing, you have to have a unique address, but you can use suite numbers. Can't really use PO boxes, but you can use suite numbers to be able to leverage 2, 3, 4 separate Google My Business listings, even in one single office suite. So one of the ideas here is if you do have an office and you can kind of compartmentalize it into suite A, suite B, suite C, doesn't really matter as far as the post office is concerned. They're going to deliver it to that address anyways and let the internal inhabitants to determine who's suite A, suite B, but then you can have separate Google My Business listings. Now you might have one that's optimized with the keyword title for sellers. You might have another one that's optimized with the keyword title for buyers. And you might have another one that's optimized for brokers. However you want to set up your particular realtor practice. But the Google My Business listing is the new .com because of scarcity. And there are 3 things that affect how well your Google My Business listing can rank in search. Prominence, relevance, and distance. I didn't make this up. In fact, these 3 things, if we go ahead and switch on over here into a Google browser, the 3 things that you need to rank your Google My Business listing. You'll be able to see here that Google has how to improve your local rankings on Google. This is from support.google.com. This is their own cheat sheet, if you will. Relevance, distance, and prominence. Okay, I can't make this stuff up. I just teach what's already there. So the 3 things that matter here, the first one's going to be relevance, and that's how well does your business match what someone's searching for. This is why keywords are so important when you're ranking your local business. Now, Johnny, can I pick on example like Google My Business? Do you have someone in mind from one of our partners that we could look at?
Oh, let's pick on Darren because we always pick on Darren.
We always like Darren. He's a good sport. Okay. So Hanover, PA. All right. Now you'll see over here that Darren has a listing, Google My Business listing. He's got 4 5-star reviews. Now, the reason why this showed up here, this is called a dedicated map listing. It's not competing with a 3 map pack because there's only one of them that so perfectly fits my keyword. Remember, that's relevance, okay? I searched for his name in his city, and so he wins that by a long shot. If we go ahead and we change this up a little bit and we do something like best realtors, Hanover, PA, it changes. We get the LSAs. We'll talk about that here in a moment. And check this out. There's your map pack. Here are the top 3 that now, according to Google, are the most relevant for what I'm listing for here. Now, when we think about relevance, you really think about how well the listing is optimized. So for one, you'll see here, realtors worked into this person's name. And then for these others, they're all real estate agent as their primary category. Check this out. Best realtor is listed in one of the reviews for this person. That helps a lot. Check this one out. Great residential real estate agent, local, trusted, caring.
It's almost like they were coached into what to say, eh?
Could be. But who am I to say shame on them because they were able to leverage that opportunity that much better in Google. Now, there are several things here in a listing that you can optimize to help you rank higher from a relevancy perspective. First thing that we're going to talk about is reviews. You just noticed there where some of these people are saying keywords that help this business to rank higher. The next thing is going to be questions and answers. Now you can see here, there's no questions asked on this one. So I can ask a question. If I did, that gives Remax a chance. So if you pair up with a realtor friend or within your own agency, you can ask questions on each other's listings and go ahead and give some answers there. That'll help you with keyword optimization as well. The other thing that you've got going on are what are called posts, Google My Business posts. Now, those are in the actual map pack, so those aren't going to show up very well. But let's come back here to Darren's, and I'll show you what I mean. We did a whole entire training on this, so I'm not going to spend a ton of time on it today, but I do want to show you what I mean by posts. It's going to be these down here. And you'll notice that Darren's actually reworking some of his footage, his video footage, into posts. This is perfect. He's got a call now button on these posts. It doesn't take very long to put these together. It's like the social media meets search. In fact, it's funny, if any of you remember Google Plus. Do you remember Google Plus, JMO?
Yeah, yeah.
Did you have a Google Plus profile? I know you did.
I know I did too, but you know my stance on Google.
So what's funny is Google learned from their failure with Google Plus, and all these big companies have failures. Amazon actually launched a smartphone prior to releasing Alexa. It was the Fire Phone. Does anyone remember the Fire Phone?
I don't remember that.
It flopped. It was horrible. It was a disaster.
Good.
But they learned so much from that they then put into Amazon Alexa, and Alexa is a huge success today. Well, Google Plus was a huge flop, but all the lessons that Google learned from Google Plus, they're putting into Google My Business. So Google My Business is the marriage of social media and search. Similarly, YouTube is the marriage of social media, specifically video media, and search. So Google's unicorn in the search marketing space, and Google My Business allows you to leverage that. So they've got this posting feature where your posts actually help you to show up better in local search. What you want to do with your posts is make sure you put in relevant terms and keywords that help you to show up for terms that people are actually searching. So this one says real estate market update. York and Adams counties, totally fine. I would say there's some ways to optimize this even more. Something like top real estate news in York and Adams counties.
Which actually only real estate news Hanover, PA had a SEO difficulty of 17, right? So so we're running a test on that particular.
Okay,
keyword.
Cool.
So it's funny you said news.
That's awesome. Exactly. Using keyword research to help you to know how to then write these descriptions helps you to rank that much better and faster. So that's all relevance here.
I just want to touch on that for anybody listening. And in the replay is, you got YouTube ranking, and if you look at TubeBuddy and vidIQ, it might be different than looking at some the tools for Google. So you got to kind of make at some point a determination. Do you want to rank on YouTube or you want to rank on Google? Of course, it's perfect to find something that works on both, right? But where do you want to rank? Me, I think I'm all in on Google, right? I'm all in on Google. Google owns YouTube, so it only makes sense. And Google gets like twice the amount of traffic than YouTube. So for me, I want to go all in on Google. So that's why some of the stuff that we do, we try to go all in and get the best that we can on the best bang for the buck on Google.
Didn't you tell me that our friend, look at that, Trusted Real Estate Agents Hanover, PA. There's his YouTube video. First page of Google.
We released that 3 days ago, and I went in and optimized a couple of things around after doing some deep keyword research, because, let's face it, man, it's like you say, it's a slugfest in the real estate realm, in the real estate world. So to try to rank on houses for sale in Hanover, I wouldn't even waste my time, because you're competing against Zillow, Realtor.com, Homes.com, millions of websites, right? All the different IDX sites and everything else like that. So you got to find a way to kind of break through the noise or come up in the thing and scroll up just a little bit though. On this particular thing, right? What is Google right above the Google LSAs? What do they say up there? Does it say trusted real estate agents or something? Real estate agents nearby? No, I thought it might have said trusted real estate agents because they're funny.
Yeah, real estate agents nearby. Yeah.
Right. So he's on the first page of Google with his YouTube video. Right.
From 3 days of work, or 3 days ago, right? Like that's how fast the results were.
Yeah, it was the next day.
Yeah. Right. And that's the power of optimizing a listing, doing that research, knowing what you're going after. And then of course you're leveraging YouTube here, which is owned by Google. So the second largest search engine in the world is owned by the first largest search engine. It's just smart. It's really good marketing there. So,
and if you click on videos, he should probably be the first video.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Which,
So.
did you know that 79% of the data delivered to your phones, mobile, and 82% of global internet usage, according to Cisco, to me, they're the foremost expert in this area, one of them anyway, will be video. That includes streaming video, right? Netflix, Amazon Prime, those types of things, but also includes YouTube and TikTok and everything else like that. The consumer wants video.
They absolutely do. And Darren's doing this right by putting this on YouTube, putting it on Google My Business, and then, of course, through Explore My Town, having it promoted on Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah, we haven't even we're just starting the blog optimization with him because he's rolling out his new website. Actually, literally today, I was on the call with him, getting that all set up, and we're going to start optimizing blogs. So now we're going to be able to come at you from YouTube. There's a way to optimize Facebook, so that's going to show up. So YouTube, Facebook, because they're both top level domains, right? Trusted top level domains, authorities, if you would, and then the blogs and the Google announcements, right? So there's going to be multiple ways. And that, to me, that's digital marketing, right? Digital marketing is using the assets to get everybody to one particular place or accomplish one particular purpose. That purpose is as simple as a pixel fire, right?
Absolutely.
So you do all this work just so you can get that pixel to fire, right? Including send out a newsletter. So therefore, when somebody goes back to Facebook, there's your face. Hey, did you know that I sell real estate, right? Are you looking for a home for sale? Hey, I got 2 new listings hitting the market, right? So they start to see that message. Because if you go out there, honestly, hook, people are just going to start ignoring it. It's just going to be like, oh, it's just another cheesy real estate agent, right? But if you go out there, jab, 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 right hook, like Gary Vaynerchuk teaches.
I thought you just came up with that yourself. I thought that was original. No?
Oh man, sounds good though, right? Jib, 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 left hook.
Get on Gary V.
Yeah, but you follow the tried and true things and understand the problem. I think agents have though, Derek. I think some of the times is just time on task, where they're so reactive to leads coming in and client pressures and showings and contracts and appraisals and home inspections that it's like to sit down to do this, I think is one of the hardest things for most. I really do think it's confusing as hell until it's like anything, it's confusing as hell until you understand it, right? But the thing about it is you can't do it just one time, right? This isn't a one time, I set up my search engine optimization in my Google. It can be when you have somebody doing it for you and you're delegating it, but you can't just do one video, then all of a sudden you're the Google expert in town, right? It's consistency, it's time on task. Right.
I'm glad you brought that up, JMO, because the Explore My Town is all about delivering that community, right? It's helping you to build that long-term establishment in your community. It's going to pay off for years, decades to come. But some, realtors want leads today or tomorrow, and they want to be able to see more progress in their local SERP engine result pages without having to do work. And I think that's exactly why you're bringing the marketplace online right now, is to help them build some layers into their own digital marketing strategies while they're building their brand, while they're building their videos and they're building their networks. They're also getting leads from Google My Business and from LSAs and from social lead ads. So I think it's fantastic what you're putting together here, Johnny. And Darren here's a great example of kind of building that layering into his digital marketing. I mean, he's number one right now. Look at that in YouTube. So this is the difference in videos. The second largest search engine in the world. These are both ads here, but he's number one right there for that one. So fantastic. Right. He's number 2 right there as well. Number 3 or 4 rather, skipped 3. That's
what consistency looks like, right? Yep. That's what consistency looks like. Now, here's the thing. It might not have 10 million views on it or something else like that, but you're first and it's a billboard and you're being seen.
It's a billboard. This is a digital billboard that he didn't have to pay anything for except for the time to make the video, right? Yeah. So fantastic. Well done,
but Dan. He's also doing the work. He's out there, being consistent. He's got the Chamber of Commerce now introducing him to new businesses. Right, do a video for him, right? I mean, how awesome is that? And it's all because he's coming from contribution and people are seeing the positive impact, right? Yep. And now he's got people saying, when he told me today, when he calls people, he goes, "What's your name?" "Oh, hey man, I see your videos." Right. And Susan Cook down in Valdosta gets that same experience, right? This is the power of the parasocial relationship. It's real. I'm going to say this until I'm blue in the face. Doing video is absolutely useless. It's the distribution of video, which is important. Right. So if you just do video, like all the coaches tell you, all the big name coaches tell you, you got to do video. That's useless. It's horrible advice. It's as bad as saying you need to make phone calls. Phone calls to who? What's the strategy? Who are we calling? What is the message?
Exactly.
Right. What is the call to action? So there's so many more things. So just to do video is useless. You got to put it out there. You got to have it optimized. You got to have a message. You got to call to action, right? And it's even so much deeper than that. We got a 9-point distribution plan that we follow, and that includes all the way down to sending out newsletters with the blog articles in them. So when somebody clicks on that blog article, it fires the pixel, right? So it's more than just doing a video. You got to spend some time and say, what do I want to do with the video? What do I want the video? I can promise you, if you don't do videos, there's 100% chance that they won't see you there. Right.
Yeah.
So doing video is a tool. Don't think that it's the means and the be all end all. Video is a tool in order to drive people to a location or get interest and build an audience. Right. Pixel right. Audience, right? Pixel audience. This is the power of video for me. Pixel audience branding, right? Yep. One of these three things are happening at all times.
And in the mix of that triangle, it's automation, right? Because it's working for you while you sleep. Someone's watching your video and you're not even there. So it's having a face-to-face conversation without having to have a face-to-face conversation, which leverages your time immensely. Fantastic. Well, I know we sidetracked a little bit here talking about the power of video and search and how you marry all that together. If we think about the second ranking thing for Google My Business, it's going to be distance. And so you get roughly about a 15-mile radius to win in that 3-pack. So there's 3 winners for your industry in a 15-ish mile radius of your location. So distance is super important. Now, this is why it's important to open up additional offices if you can. Maybe it's an employee's address who's willing to do that for you at a different part of the city or county. And that way you can kind of have several different listings in different locations that way to leverage distance. The third one here is going to be prominence.
And there's nothing wrong with that because y'all are self-employed, you understand, and you're probably getting your mail at home and you're probably getting your taxes that you're filing at home.
Yeah, absolutely. So you should definitely have one for yourself, even if it's your home address. But if you can, have a friend or someone else who's willing to have a listing at there.
Yeah. And before we move on, you said something to me the other day that was very profound that sticks with me constantly. The reviews, you want to have a bunch of reviews, but they don't actually have to be a past client. Understand that. Somebody reviewing you can say, hey, great communication skills, 5-star, right? You can have your wife, your husband, your boyfriend, your cat, whatever. If the cat can type, leave your review an honest review, of course, based upon your strong point. Oh, great communicator.
Yep.
You know what I mean, never had a difficulty time, clear communication and trustworthy.
Yep. I've known Darren for 5 years and stand-up guy, right? Even if you've never done business with Darren, that's a true testimony if you spent time with him. So fantastic. That does factor into prominence. Prominence is what other people say about you. It's the prominence of your business in the offline world as well as the online world. So this comes down to what are called backlinks and citations. And this is a big part of the service that we offer you. It's the technical part of the service. Of course, getting people to do the reviews, as Jayma just said there, is going to help you here with the prominence side of it. But it's more than just reviews. It's also what people are saying on social media about you and on their own websites about you. So those are the 3 ranking factors for Google My Business. And it's so important for all the reasons that we just talked about that you optimize it and take the time to really grow your business. And if you don't want to do it yourself, we've got a package for you. We're going to reveal it here at the end. We've got a package for you to help you with just this. The next one that we have here is
Google My Business is a sleeper as far as I'm concerned. It really is a sleeper. It's not going anywhere. It's the most powerful website in the world. It's the gatekeeper to everything. And if you're not spending time there, man, things are about to change in our industry.
I couldn't agree more. It's more important than your website and then your Facebook. And that's hard for me to say it's more important than your website, but it is true. Now, I would say it's not more important than your website long-term, but certainly more important than your website short-term.
Mm-hmm.
The second thing we're going to talk about is related to the first. It's local service ads. What's a local service ad, JMO?
It's a service ad that's local.
Nice, right on.
Yeah.
Exactly. Local to who?
Local to the person that's looking in that particular area, and
Yeah.
they're looking for the agents that are within that particular vicinity. And again, if you've gone through the process and you're certified, then you're going to pay you $30, then you're going to get the call. A couple of years ago when it hit the market, it was the biggest rave, and people were like, "Oh my God, it's like taking candy from a baby," right?
Yeah,
It's easy. They're layup sales. Now, just like in anything else in this world, it's becoming a little bit more tougher because more people are going there because it is a viable lead source. But it's another thing that as an agent, I would be 100%, 110% putting energy into every single day, right? I would be there doing whatever I had to be able to play in that sandbox.
Absolutely right. And the LSAs are offered by Google. They're part of the AdWords product. It's actually a sister to the AdWords product. It's not directly the AdWords product, but it plays in the same space on a search engine result page, a SERP for short, as the other Google products, Search Ads, Smart Ads, and Max Ads. Now, I say 3 here, but then I dropped you 4. That's because Max Ads is a special type of ad. We'll talk about that here in just a moment, but let's go talk through these things. So you need to, first of all, make your ad campaign match your goals if you're hoping for a successful campaign. JMO, you were just talking about this a moment ago. A lot of people, they're going to throw things against the wall hoping something's going to stick.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't have a plan in place, the only thing that you can expect is nothing to stick.
A dirty wall.
A dirty wall. Exactly. So always start with your goal and then identify your audience to match that goal. So you can't really expect, a 70-year-old male to want to be in the paragliding club. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but your chances of making that happen are a lot less because you didn't match your audience with your goal.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then the other thing you need to think through once you've identified your goal and your audience is what message then, what campaign is going to resonate with that audience so that it motivates them to achieve your goal. Ad campaigns, because they're served on Google, so specifically search ad campaigns, Google AdWords ad campaigns are a new type of advertisement that have been around for only about 20 years that are called inbound ads. That means your ad shows up in front of people when they're searching for you, searching for your brand, your product, your service. And that's powerful because they're already self-identified in your audience. That's why when it comes to search engine ads, AdWords, you don't have to spend as much time on the audience segment of it. You do need to think about your goals and then your messaging to reach those goals, but the audience is actually self-selected, which makes AdWords so powerful.
What do you mean self-selected?
Great question, JMO. Let me show you. Let's come back here to our search engine and let's go up here. All right. What did I search up here?
Trusted real estate agents, Hanover, PA.
And who do you see?
Hunter Shank, James Schmidt, and Jay Day.
That's a great name, Jay Day. All right. So what's that tell you?
Sponsored.
They paid to play, didn't they?
Yeah.
These are LSAs. These are local service ads. Google Screen shows up. It's different than the traditional AdWords because only certain industries qualify for an LSA Google Screen placement. You have to apply for this. It's a decently rigorous process. Not too bad. You can get through it in a couple days worth of work and a couple drinks, but totally worth it if you do fill out the paperwork. Search for local service ads with Google and you can find the application there as a realtor and work through that. Now, the reason why I say self-selected is because I'm the one who put this keyword into Google. So I'm already telling Google that I'm interested in trusted real estate agents in Hanover.
I gotcha. Intent, right? Google is intentional.
Very intentional. That's why we don't really consider Google to be top of funnel. Google's more middle and bottom of funnel. We're going to talk funnels here in a moment when we think through social media ads a bit more. But local service ads are at the very top of Google, and they also show your reviews from your Google My Business listing and how many years in business you've been. So people tend to click on the first thing they see. So the only thing that I'm going to determine when I'm examining these three is what, JMO? Who would you pick?
Who would I pick? I'm probably going to pick Lee Tessier at those 671 reviews, or I'm going to take a look at Jay Day because she's got 452.
That's exactly right. This guy, he's paying to play. I love you, Hunter. Fantastic. Keep it up, buddy. You're only 1 year in business. You've got 9 reviews. Okay. You're going to need to put a bit more effort in here in order to be able to win the click versus these two here.
Yeah. Yeah. 16 years in business, 18 years in business, showing experience. They're showing the reviews are powerful, right? So people like reviews, people like stars. Every one of those might say the same thing. Heck, you don't even need to leave words if you leave in a 5-star, right? So they could be moot, but people, and it doesn't matter what we think. I say this all the time in my trainings. Doesn't matter what you think. It matters what they think, right? Matters what the consumer's behavior or what the consumer thinks is, right? And we need to meet them there.
That's exactly right. So going back to what we talked about with Google My Business, which is why I like to start there, and we talked about reviews and getting your listings up. That's very important if you hope to win and compete in the LSAs, in the map space. We have people who will come in and they'll say, hey, listen, I got approved for the LSAs. I'm paying money every month, but I'm still not getting a ton of leads. And this is the reason why, because they're only focused on one part of their business instead of the whole picture of their business. The second part of a SERP, this is a search engine result page, are these. Do you know what these are called, JMO, in terms of the ad product here?
These are just ad placement or something.
Yep, that's right. They're just AdWords search ads. They're as old as Google AdWords itself. They've been around.
I used to pay 25 cents a piece. Now I can't pay 25 cents.
No, you can't pay 25 cents.
Pay-per-click ads, yeah.
Pay-per-click ads. Yeah, there's some keywords that you can still see for about 25 cents, but they're pretty rare.
Yeah.
And but yeah, you can see here Ramsey, okay? Dave Ramsey. You know, we all know Dave Ramsey. He's trying to go ahead and win some business right there. Looks like he's helping out his own realtor agency or network.
Yeah, because he gets 30%.
Does he really?
Yeah.
Dang. That's killer.
Yeah, I mean, great business model. I'm probably going to do it too.
That's a fantastic business model. Absolutely.
No leads for you.
Why share the pie when you can own the pie? But yeah, so they're paying for search ads here. Since he's not in the local market, he can't have an LSA. So that's helping to preserve the integrity of the local market a bit more, but he can definitely play in this space.
And listen, Google, Zillow, everybody, Facebook, they're all trying to bring it back to local. So yes, you're going to see that, an expansion of that over the next couple of years.
There's a lot,
including
more
maps. They're transitioning heavily into maps.
They absolutely are. And the reason behind that is because there's a lot of value in local. People want to buy local and build those local communities. It's important. If we click on the map pack here, you'll see there's another ad here. This is called a smart ad. It's just the type of, it's a Google My Business smart ad. It's just the type of placement for that. So I wanted to make sure that you're aware of that. So we talked about 3 here, 1, 2, and 3. Now there's also YouTube ads. If I was to flip over to videos here, we might see one. Probably not. There's our friend Darren at the top of that one. So if we switch this out to Best Realtor, Best Realtors, I'm curious if we would find one. Look, there he is. There he is. There he is. That's fantastic. You go, Darren. Look at that. He even got a video up on homes.com.
Right, yeah, that's great, man. That's the power of video, right? So video itself is useless. It's the distribution and way you're putting it that's important.
And absolutely. And when you see this here, it means he's going to be first on YouTube as well, because top of search engine here with videos, first on YouTube. So well done, buddy. All right, let's come over here to
he had
all
a good
again.
teacher.
Yeah. So those are the three main ones. The fourth one that I talked about here is Max Search Ads. It's a brand new product from Google. The beauty of a Max Search ad is it takes your ad and it places it on all, not one, but all of Google's properties with the exception of the LSA. If you are already approved for LSAs, it might put your ad there. I don't know the answer to that one for sure, but it will take your ad. It'll put it on the display network, the partner network, the search network, the YouTube network, and the smart Google My Business network.
Wait a minute, is that where I'm on like Dick's Sporting Goods and I see a realtor? Is that what we're talking about?
That's what we're talking
about. That extended network? I got you.
That's an extended network there. Max Search Ads is really, really powerful because it leverages the value of Google's AI, which is really the best in class. They're at the forefront of AI. So learning where your ad's performing best is the power of the Max Search Ad. And the beauty here is that you're not talking about spending, dozens of dollars per ad, per impression, or even per click. On average, you can expect to get a lead. Doesn't mean it's going to be a great lead. Of course, since this has higher intent, as we mentioned in the beginning, you're going to have a much better chance at a good lead here on Google than you would through social media lead gen ads. But you can expect to pay somewhere around $50 or $60 for a lead on Google.
Yeah. But your conversion rate is going to be ridiculously high.
It's usually 40%, 50% or higher. That's right. Social media is going to be about 15% to 20%
on a good day.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah.
On a great day.
On a great day. Yeah. Well, I'm talking about lead gen products, and that actually takes us to our next topic, which is. Well, before we talk about the next product here, I want to make sure that you guys know, just wrapping this up in terms of matching your goals, you need to know your numbers too. Know how to retarget. JMO talked about that pixel, extremely important. What you're really buying in any type of advertising is data. That data tells a story, and then it's up to you to leverage that data to influence and impact your goals and your bottom line. Now, we're going to reveal this product at the end here, but the reason why we're bringing this up is because if you don't want to do any of this, all right, we're going to take care of this for you if you want help with any of those ads. So the third product we're releasing is the social media lead ads. What we do with Explore My Town are brand and reach and click ads with the intent of helping you to build your tribe. We're building your brand. You're showing up everywhere. People knowing about you now, wherever they look, you're building that network. That's the power.
I call it a community of high value.
It's a community of high value. Yeah. And it is the long-term game that will pay you off for decades to come if you do that strategy and commit to it and are consistent with it day in and day out. If, in addition to that, you also want leads, you need leads today, tomorrow, the social media lead ads are fantastic products for you. These are not high intent ads necessarily. These are what are called interruptive ads or outbound ads. And because they show up on Facebook and Instagram, and we can also do other networks besides those. Those tend to be realtors' top picks, but you can do ads on TikTok as well as on LinkedIn to go ahead and promote your business. There's a certain product called a lead ad, which you only pay for. That's not entirely true, but you primarily pay for when you get a lead. So you might set a lead goal of $15. And if no one else is willing to spend more than you per lead, like 20 bucks or whatever, then Facebook will take your money first and you'll get that lead. So this is a powerful thing that a lot of realtors leave untouched. It has to be set up properly, though, in order to be effective. I know a number of people who've used these lead ads and like, all I got was garbage leads. It was bad. Well, probably if you're going to get bad garbage leads, it's because you didn't define your audience. Remember, we're talking about goals, then audience, and then campaign. You didn't probably define your audience. You need to define your audience to be people with high intent and interest anyways. These need to be people who can afford to buy and sell a home. These need to be people who are transient. These are people who are moving into the area or out of the area, or there's a job change, or there's a marriage change, or there's a kid change, right? So if you start targeting those folks and other people like them, you're going to have much better quality leads coming through your funnel. It is true, though, that your conversion rate off these leads, like we just said a moment ago, is going to be a lot less than your conversion rate off of Google leads, a lot less.
Yeah.
You can expect to pay somewhere around $15 a lead here rather than $50 or $60 a lead on Google. But you're going to probably need 4 or 5 of these leads to get a good lead. So your conversion rate tends to be about the same as it would be on Google, but it's a slightly different approach because in addition to getting that lead, you get a lot more exposure because it's an outbound ad on Facebook and Instagram than you would on Google because it's inbound only based upon intent when people search.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the things you want to consider with this are going to be, am I going to adopt a native conversion strategy or an on-page conversion strategy? What I mean by native is, are you going to try to convert that lead with a lead form right in Facebook or Instagram where when they click contact Darren, it pops up a form right there on Facebook or Instagram and says name, email, phone number, message, and it kind of fills all that in with the contact information you already have in your account. That's a native ad. You usually get a lot more leads that way, but sometimes they're less quality. An on-page conversion strategy takes them off of Facebook or Instagram where they see your ad, they click, and they end up on your page, your website. That's where you track them with that pixel that James was talking about. Now you can retarget them. You're building a data set and an audience, but that's a longer term funnel. Native ads are short-term funnels where you're trying to get leads immediately on Facebook and Instagram. On-page conversion strategies, you're building out a longer form funnel in order to deliver better results over time. And the real power of video comes down to the fact that it drives your clicks and costs and impression costs way down because everyone loves video. So if you ran an image ad, you're going to end up paying on average to $1 to $2 for a click. For a video ad, 20 cents a click generally is kind of a rough idea that you can keep in mind. It improves your conversion numbers by a factor of 4 to 5 times as a general rule. The last thing that we're going to talk about here today, and really perhaps the most important thing, is going to be your website design and branding. And I think that this is the number one most important thing for realtors who want to future-proof success, because it comes down to EMT's core principle of building high impact, high value communities. Mm-hmm. If you don't have a place that you call home, then you're just renting in another man's world. And as realtors, that's the number one thing you shouldn't be doing. Mm-hmm. So own your property, own your real estate, in this case, digital real estate. If you are dependent upon your Facebook page, you don't own your Facebook page. Facebook can and has shut down Facebook pages at a drop of a hat. Look at that. Look, I see that hand. I see that hand.
Yeah. I go through it monthly.
It's a pain. It's a huge pain, especially you will read this in the news. There are celebrities or influencers who've spent years and built a huge brand, and they post something or say something that Facebook doesn't like and suspended.
Yeah. Gone. And they look backwards too.
Yes, they do.
So they could say, hey, you posted something in 2016 we don't agree with. I posted a lot in 2016.
Yeah. Dare I go look? Hey, let's go check him out. 2016.
I think I deleted most of it, like from my profile, but who knows that I posted in some groups.
Oh my goodness, that's great. So same thing goes with your Google My Business listing. It is, at the end of the day, it is owned by Google. I think it is a fantastic place for you to start. And Google doesn't have the same reputation as social media brands for shutting things down, mostly because it's search intent, right? So if I'm searching for something, then they're going to give me those results. Whereas Facebook is kind of a push platform. Google's a pull platform.
Yeah, and understand that, and I'm going to get into some stuff that I don't want it to sound conspiratorial, but Facebook even told you, you're the product, right? You're the product. So your data, your habits, your everything, you're the product. And so Facebook is going to deliver to you. Behavioral programmers are one of the highest paid positions in Silicon Valley in the development world, right? When you can get that person to salivate over that red dot, when you that ding or whatever it is, we can keep that person on platform. They all know that it's a mental health crisis what they're doing.
Absolutely.
But they're making billions of dollars and they don't care. They know more about you than you. They can predict your behaviors, right? They can predict your behaviors by delivering you certain content, withholding certain content from you based upon the algorithm, right? And Google, while Google can and does certain things, the true censorship, I think, is on the Facebook side more.
That's true.
Because Google is making billions of dollars by being a data aggregate, right? Mm-hmm. That's it. They're a data warehouse and aggregator, really is what they are. Facebook is a social media platform. They only make money, well, besides the stock market, they're only making money from their advertisers, and the advertisers want to make sure that they're getting a bang for their buck. So they're going to deliver the message to that audience, however it needs to be, right? So Facebook will, and they do, and don't get me wrong, YouTube does a little bit as well, more so, especially when you come down to some crazy things. If we're real estate agents and stuff, it should be relatively simple. Google wants to be your everything. So you're not going to get that same friction at Google that you would at Facebook. That's another reason I like going all in on Google. And if you're on Google, there's nothing that you can be penalized about if you're telling the truth, right? You're verified, your information's there. With Facebook, you say one thing wrong, they can shut you down, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's horrible, because that's big marketing, big visibility, big for networking, right? For most of us, they shut you down. I panicked when they told me I was suspended. I was like, whoa, what? Right? Because that's how I conduct my business.
Yeah, absolutely. And you need to be aware of the risks when you do any type of marketing or business endeavors. And this is why having your own website that you can track with your own pixels, coming back to that. And then over here's a screenshot of Google Analytics, right? You know the data, you know what's happening on your site, so that you can go ahead and then do something with that data. So
yeah, and you all have data. I want to say this right now, right? We're talking about marketing, we're talking about deliverability and things like that. Know your audience, right? That is what we're saying, is know your audience, because 40% of your market is Gen Z and millennials, right? They're going to operate differently than a Gen X like me. Right? They're born with their phone in their hands. Especially the Gen Zs, having food delivered with DoorDash and Uber and all these other things. That is just a way of life for them.
Yeah.
Where I had to adapt to it. So know what you're playing to, what you're playing to, know who you're playing to, and what the message is, right? Because it should be different for each one of these classes of people. But when you're able to look at your analytics like this, and you're able to say, and I did this today with somebody, I said, look, your main audience is females between 44 and 54. What is it that, or whatever the numbers were, what is it that females between, well, like say 38 and 54, because, it was the triangle, right? What is something that they would enjoy and that they would want to do? Make videos around that. Make videos to please your audience. Then take it another step further and say, okay, my male audience isn't engaging as much as the female audience. What can I do for men, right? Do a barbecue place, do, whatever, a hunting place, whatever, whatever guys are into, I don't know. And then the women who see your audience say, oh, let me share this with my honey. Right. Mm-hmm. And then the honey season is like, oh, we got to go to this place. That's how, but you can only do this when you look at the data, right? You can only do this when you look at your analytics in either Facebook or on Google.
And that ties into the pixels. And then you can create your custom audiences. Now I only want to target women, right? Or women 20 to 35 or 40 or 45. And if you're going to build a luxury brand for your real estate agency, or if you want to be mostly a sales agent or a buying agent, the way you tell that story and convince people that you're the right listing agent for them is through your website. It is the cornerstone of your brand and your online strategy. It's where you host your resources, your blogs, your conversion funnels, your lead magnets, so that if you offer this 10 things you need to know before you move to Hanover, PA, things like that. And it's a downloadable form. And then you capture their contact info. You have to have a website to do that.
You sound like me now.
Sales have always been about relationships, right? It's
under all is the relationship.
Always. The best type of marketing is always referrals. The only advantage of video and website and digital and everything we're talking about today is it's leveraging your ability to touch more people personally than you ever could have before, literally from the palm of your hand. So creating these videos and putting them on your channels and on your website and knowing how to optimize them properly will help you to leverage your sales at scale, because it helps you to build a brand beyond just yourself, day to day, shaking hands and talking to people face to face.
I agree. And what I like to do is say you're able to take your offline relationships and bring them online. You're able to bring your online relationships and bring them offline.
Yes.
But the cool thing about all of it is through social media, through video, through Google and, YouTube and those types of tools you're able to broadcast. And we're going to get into my concept of sphere hacking. You're able to broadcast your relationship to the community.
Yep.
Now I'm there with Bob, who's an influential member of the community. You're Tina, who's an influential member of the community, or owns a restaurant or a business. Now, all of a sudden I'm tapping into their audience. Now I'm getting into sphere hacking, right? Because Tina or Bob, they each have a minimum of 100 people that they know, right? And that's why some of our videos get 180 shares on them, organic, natural shares, is because we're able to engage in sphere hacking. And what happens is, as the algorithm, when you post anything, it's going to send it out to 25 people as a test audience. If there's some engagement, then it's going to send it out to another 25, right?
Yep.
So on and so forth. But what happens is when you put out this video of an interesting person, place, or thing, and it gets shared, or you tag somebody, now you got two audiences that are at play, right? Because, so-and-so was tagged, right? And now what happens is their users see that and their followers see that and they like it and then they share it. Now, all of a sudden you're in a third level of an algorithm, which you didn't even know existed, because, let's face it, let's take a look at anybody's Facebook page and what's your number one viewed or shared video on your business page. I can promise if you didn't put any ad spend behind it or have some methodology behind it or it built an audience up prior, and this only can happen with some ad spend, right? You got to put some ad spend behind it to grow it. You got like 3 views and 7, you know what I mean?
Unless you have cats in it and then it goes viral.
Yeah, you got to have cats, but on TikTok. But so in order to get that 180 shares, 50 shares, or whatever like that, you got to have that audience built up. That's sphere hacking, right? That's sphere hacking. Yeah, I'm able to tap into other people's sphere of influences and grow my own.
Exactly right.
Right. And guess what happens when they watch that video, Derek? They now add it to my audience.
How? Oh, I see what you did there. Yeah, now you can retarget it, right? Now your videos go further the next time. Yeah. Well, JMO, do you think it's time for us to reveal how people can access this marketplace?
Yeah, I'm interested too, because this is all new. All of this stuff is all new to me, so I'm excited to learn too and talk about it. And I honestly, I'm not going to say this. I think between video, if anybody knows me, knows that's all I've talked about for the past 3 years. Right? That's all I've worked on. All I talk about. I don't even want to talk to people about their goals anymore, like about their financial goals or the financial disciplines, all the things I used to talk about. I want to talk about video. I think this is equal and the same level as importance of video, and that's why we're doing this. So yeah, let's jump into it and let's talk about it because it is that important.
All right. Well, there we go, guys. There's the link. If you're curious to check out the marketplace for yourself, we tried to make it really easy for you to find it. All right. /marketplace. All right. 4 new product offerings. Show them here.
What do we got?
We've got our website design and branding package. This is up to 5 pages here. Roughly, it's about $250 a page. And then you also get a logo and a branding package with you. This is going to get you off the ground started, something that you can call your own. We build these on WordPress for you. We can work on other sites. We're working with a partner right now on Squarespace.
And they're yours. They're not yours.
Sites. Yeah, they're the realtor sites. You own this, your domain. It's you building your brand. And that's the real power here, is get off of the KV Core and the EXP or pre-built sites for you, because you just look like everyone else. You're not standing out of the crowd. You need to uniquely be yourself. And so have a website. Please serve yourself by getting a website.
Yeah, be a brand. You want to hear a funny story? When I first got into the business in 2001, I worked for a company called Carlson GMAC. Carlson was the local branch. GMAC obviously was in the game at that point. And so the lady, I don't remember her name, Joan was the office manager, but she gave me a box of business cards. And I looked on it, and my cell phone wasn't on there. My email wasn't on there. My website wasn't on there. Now, mind you, I just came out of the tech world. I have all this stuff ready to roll, right? And I said, oh, you can keep these cards. She goes, why? I said, because I'm not going to ever use your email. I'm not ever going to use your website. Right? I already have one built and everything else like that had IDX in it. You can just keep the business cards, right? Nice. Your email and your domain, Saul Klein will tell you, and Saul Klein, one of the smartest, if not, he's in a short list of smartest people I know, right? Help create all this technology that we so enjoy now, Realtor.com and syndication and IDX. He's been part of it, right? Will tell me your domain that is your one of your most important pieces of IP, right? It's your brand, it's your name, whatever it might be. That is the way that you're going to communicate in the digital world.
Is that why we better call Saul?
Better call Saul. He actually, I do believe he probably owns that domain.
He's a smart guy.
He did own a company called Internet Crusaders, man. He was talking about websites for realtors in 1995, and people were glazing over saying, no, that'll never happen.
Love it. The second one here that we're offering is the social media lead gen ad campaign. We already talked about that. So this is for one campaign. This is a one-time expense here. You own it. Well, this is one time per campaign. However, you probably want to run this for several months. So this is a monthly, and monthly. That's why you can see a month there. It looks like I need to fix that on those. It doesn't say month on those. I need to fix that. Yeah. These ones are all monthly products here.
And that's not just setting it up. That's also the adjusting and the management of it and everything, which is just as vital, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, I know the first month is critical, but we recommend that you keep any campaign in a market for at least 3 months. It's really better if you push through to 6, but 3 months will give you a good idea if it's working or not working. We'll be working with you to tweak the results as you go each month. So we're there to help set it up properly, optimize it as we go, report on it, help you to understand the data, and then we can make informed decisions together to improve upon the data and deliver your goals.
You can set up a retargeting ad based upon the initial ad, so you can create
especially if you have a website and you have a pixel on it, right? Now you can do retargeting based upon how many people engage with your page on Facebook, your Facebook page, how many people look at a video. We do that at EMT all the time. But if you don't take them off page to your website, that data is only so good as what you can do with it.
I agree.
Local service ads is going to be your Google AdWords campaign. Very important, very powerful. We'll work with you through the application process here, get you set up and started, and then manage your campaigns for you each month. I have seen leads come in as low as about $35 a lead. I said 60 earlier in this presentation because I wanted to give the expectation of aiming high or aiming low, delivering high, and helping you to realize not every lead is going to be a good quality one. But I have seen LSA leads come in for about $30, $35 a lead.
Yeah, and it depends on where you are.
Right? It does, totally does. The market you're in, who you're up against, if you're going up against realtors who have 200 positive reviews there, that's going to be a hard gig. Doesn't mean we can't compete, but it's going to be a much harder gig.
Well, you can get there too. The longer you wait, the further away it gets.
Best time to plant a tree was when, JMO?
10 years ago.
When's the second best time?
Today.
That's right. Exactly right. Just got to get started, get going.
Yeah.
The fourth product we're offering here is the Google My Business Optimization and Ranking. This one has the highest ROI potential in terms of being able to rank and earn that business through Google month in and month out. So those are our 4 initial marketplace offerings. We want to hear from you next. Do you like these? Are you excited about these? And then are there other products that you're hoping to see? There are things we're hearing from partners right now that they would like to see added into the marketplace. They're only seeing this for the first time, but things they're talking about that they want to have done for them. So we're thinking about doing a YouTube's marketing product as well. And there's some other things we're playing around with, but we want to give you the best products at the start here that we know will deliver results. So that's why we're starting with these 4.
Yeah, I love it, man. I love working on this project. I started the wrong link, so everybody that was supposed to be on the other one, I apologize. But I was excited because it's been on the wraps to me too. I know we talked about it, but this is the first time I'm seeing it, so this is pretty cool. And this is for, just so everybody understands, this is for the Explore My Town partners and people outside that aren't part of it. You don't have to be part of Explore My Town to take advantage of these. That we wanted to do it that way, to be able to give you these tools, because I know people are always asking, hey, who does this, who does that? Now here's what I consider an affordable solution for you to be able to do these things, right? Run ads, have a website, local service ads, and Google My Business. And let me ask you about that website. If somebody has an existing website, will you work with them on their existing website to change it around to make it look
Excellent
good?
question, JMO. Absolutely. And we're working with a partner right now who has their own website, but it's not what they wanted it to be. And so we're working with them to redesign it, revamp it, and make it better for them. We like to follow Donald Miller's story brand methodology. Stories sell. So you want to tell people why they're there, why they should care, and what they need to do next in order to engage with you within the first 8 seconds. We call it passing the grunt test. So that's a very important first thing. You need to have things above the fold, and then you want to go ahead and do a logical flow to your website. Give the social proof. A lot of websites start by talking about you, the realtor, and what you can do, and then your mission, your vision, your values. No one gives a crap about that until you convince them that you can actually deliver on their goals. And the way you convince them how you deliver on their goals is reviews, videos, stories. These are the listings I've sold. This one just sold for 20% above market. Lead with that. Show them first, and then talk about yourself later.
Show them the results, because that's why they're there.
Exactly. Yep.
Right. 100%. So cool. You go to exploremytown.com/marketplace to see these options, and you can sign up right there. Can you get multiple products in one swoop?
Yep. You can add as many products as you want to your cart, check out with them, and you'll be good to go. We'll then do an onboarding call with you, scope out the campaign that you're looking to have delivered. Then we'll start a build process. It usually takes about 2-ish weeks. Kind of scope that out, build that, get it into market. And then from there, your ad will run on a monthly basis. We'll determine a budget. Usually, if you're going the advertising route, we recommend $10 a day. That's $300 a month. That's just basically it's not the bare minimum, but it's a healthy threshold for you to get meaningful data, actionable data.
Awesome. Cool, man. Well, we got this shared out live. I'm gonna not re-record it, but edit it and put it out there so some people can take a look at it as well. We'll share it out with all of our partners and such like that. But I wanted to thank you for taking the time. Well, putting this together and bearing with us, but also putting this together and taking your time. What most of the people watching this might not know, Derek had him and his wife. They had their 5th child last week, so the fact that he's still working, he's a trooper. But I know your kids bring you sandwiches and stuff, because I see it all the time, so I know you're greatly involved. But thank you for taking time out of the busy day with the family at 8 o'clock at night to go over this stuff for our partners, mainly for our partners, right? But the people outside of Explore My Town will be able to benefit as well.
Absolutely, JMO. My pleasure. Kids are in bed. Otherwise, I don't think my wife would let me do this.
Right, there you go. And I could talk to you all day long, because I love talking about marketing and media. And one of the things about Derek that drives me nuts is he challenges me, right? And he'll challenge you too. He'll ask you questions. You know what I mean? And I'm not used to people asking me questions. They're used to just, yeah, okay, no problem. And it's like, no, man, I want to be challenged, right? So get challenged and challenge yourself and challenge your business. That's what I say. And, you know, best time to plant a tree was 10 years ago. Next best time is today, right? So this will help you get seen on Google, start the whole YouTube journey and everything else like that. Your website, if you need one of those. And start getting some ads done properly. We're real estate agents. We're not advertisers. So do what you do best. And that is close deals, man. Put money on the table. So
fantastic closing there, JMO. That's why we call you the heavy hitter.
Yeah, that's me. Give me some crab.
Thanks, everybody. Love hanging out here with you all. Drop comments in the post below, and hopefully we'll get some more new markets and product for you.
Thank you,
products
sir.
and market.
Yeah, products and market. Thank you, sir. Bye.